All right, hi everybody. This week we're talking about how to manage citations in Word. I'm doing this because while not all of your final projects are going to require citations, many of them are. And even if they don't, these are learning how to do citations and use Word for documenting sources is always just a very useful tool to have, just sort of in your backlog of information in your mind, because you never know when at work that's going to be something that you actually need to keep track of. So one thing I will say as a note is that if your project requires citations, keep track of them as you go. Don't wait until the very end to put your citation list together, because more often than not I run into students who have sort of lost track of certain things, and then they have to go and try to recreate their citations, re-find everything from where they got it before, and it's really kind of a pain and often results in errors and mistakes and difficulties. So keep track as you go. There are, apologies for my dog, there are, one second, sorry, I'm gonna take care of this. Okay, so now I put my dog away. Apologies for that. Anyway, so there are a number of citation managers available. There's one through our library. There are a couple for free online. There are a couple you can pay for. And so, if you want to try those, feel free. But I'm actually going to show you how to handle that in Word. So in this class, we have a lot of different projects going over a range of different disciplines. We have some people doing more creative stuff, some people who are actually doing business or technical writing stuff, and some people who are trying to mimic any sort of house style they use at work. But I'm going to suggest going with APA if you're not familiar with citations at all, or if there's not a specific one you're working with. It's pretty universal. However, if I'll show you how to get here. So in 2013, there's this references tab. This is also in 2010, and it's actually fairly close to the same. So here you can there's this style button. You click the arrow, and there are a couple of different style presets that you can pick. So the most recent MLA, the most recent APA, the most recent Chicago Manual of Style, IEEE 2006. So you can actually go and, like I said, I'm going to recommend APA just because it's used in a lot of different classes. So now you can go and actually input your sources as you go. But it'll bring up a dialog box and pre-format those sources for you. Say you have an in-text citation that you want to use, something you want to cite. So this is just dummy text, don't worry, it doesn't actually mean anything. First I'm just going to point you to this Manage Sources. This is a source manager. You can see I have some already sort of put in just from other classes I've been using to set them up. So this is a list of sources that you may or may not have already entered. It's called your master list. I'll go back to that in a second, but just so you can see where it is. Let's say you want to set up a new citation. And it's a citation we're going to put in the text. So we put our cursor near next to where we want the citation to be. Then we click this Insert Citation tab. You can add a source, or you can add a placeholder if you don't have all the information. I really recommend getting information and just adding a source. So say this is a book, and we'll just pick something on my bookshelf right now. So what I'm doing here is filling in entries, and this is preset for APA, and it's preset for an APA book. So if I put report or journal article or book section, it would show me something different. I'll get to that in a second. I think this book was published in 2013. And it gives it a little tag. which you, and that might come in handy later. So you hit OK. So it's got the in-text citation for you. So, you don't have to worry about going back in and filling that in later. The citation is already there. And you know what? You can delete it, but it'll still actually save this source. So say we want to do another citation, insert, add new source. Oh, here, real quick, I want to draw attention to. So it's already one of the, it's already, pre-showed the Cervantes book. So if I want to actually cite it again in text, I put my cursor where I want it, insert the citation, add new that's what I want. Insert citation, click Cervantes, and there it is. But now say we want to use a journal title. So add new source, book, journal article. And I'm just going to be making things up off the top of my head now. So again, these are 2015. It doesn't even exist yet. These are the fields that are part of the APA style. And again, if you want to use IEEE, if you want to use MLA, that's great. It'll present it. But so we've got this source inserted here in text. If we want to insert it again, insert citation. There. So we're building our in-text citations as we go. And then what's great is that as we're building our citations as we go, I'm going to insert. So what I'm going to do is now, one of the cool things about maintaining your citations in Word as you go is that it can automatically generate a bibliography for you. So insert. I'm just doing a page break. We haven't really talked about that yet, but I'm just doing it to show up how to do citations. So citations. Bibliography. So you can choose between bibliography, references, and works cited. A bibliography and a reference is a bibliography is a document that includes all sources associated with the document. Even if you don't quote them directly in the text, anything you read that might have informed your document, you put that in there. Same with references. It's just a different naming convention. And finally, works cited. In Word it says that includes all sources associated with the document. A works cited is really just literally works you cited in the text. It does not cover anything you read that you ended up not including. We'll go with the references list. So look, my 2 references are already, now they're all included in the document. Now it's only 2 references. You may need more than 2 references. You probably will. But say you do your research, you generate your automatic bibliography, and then you go back and decide, oh, I actually need to do more research. What do? Well, you go and you do the research, you add the citations. I actually want to show, now I want to come back to this. We've got our master list of all things I have ever added to my sources in Word. So here are the 2 that are in the document, and here are all of them I've added total. So I'm going to pick one that I've added elsewhere in another demo. I'm going to copy it over, and I'm going to take this one and copy it over. And you can actually delete sources from your master list or re-edit them if you wanted. See, there's the delete and there's the edit. And you could also generate a new source from here. So say there's something that you want to cite, but you're not going to quote it in the article. It's something for a bibliography or a reference page, but you're not going to actually quote it. Well, in that case, you can actually set it up in the Citation Manager. So again, we've generated our so now it's not an in-text citation, but it is added to the current list. So I've closed that, and say any of these I actually want to end up doing an in-text citation for. I go and I click, and you see they've been added to that insert citation list. So say here's this book chapter, and I just added it as a citation, but I didn't think I want to use it in the text. There it is. You know, it's right there. I find I can drop it in. But now look, I've added things to my document, to my citations, that are not actually in my reference list. So what do? Update citations in bibliography. Look, there's our whole list right there. So again, you don't necessarily have to use this method if you really don't want to. However, since this is a Word class, it's something that I think is worth practicing. Your assignment is to actually practice using it. If you don't want to use it in your full project, that's okay. But please consider actually giving it a shot. So that's it. If you have questions on how to use this, please do let me know, because I think managing citations is very important, and so this will really come in handy in the long term. All right, have a good week.